Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio Thursday morning. Unfortunately, Josh Simmons for the Kansas City Chiefs put on the IR, and based on what I saw in Andy Reid's interview yesterday, they're thinking about putting Juwan on the right side of the line. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and it isn't necessarily good. We told you yesterday that when a player has a second opinion, as Josh Simmons had, that is normally not very good, and it wasn't in this case. The second opinion agreed with the first. He has a fractured and dislocated wrist. IR is at least 4 weeks, and there are only 5 games left in the regular season anyway. Now, keep in mind that the Chiefs played well without Josh Simmons in there when he was absent for the unexplained reason. And Taylor over there on that'll help. It's good, but he doesn't have quite the experience of playing at that particular position and protecting a Patrick Mahomes does from one side but not the other. And folks, that makes a difference in football. Anyway, that was kind of the bad news for the Chiefs yesterday. The semi-good news was they were part of a record-setting performance, and that record-setting performance was on Thanksgiving Day when the Chiefs-Cowboys game had a television rating of over 57%, and folks, that is an all-time regular season high for the NFL. Think about that. 57 million folks are watching the pro game on Thanksgiving afternoon. And what record did they set? Well, they set it 3 hours before with the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, who drew 47 million. Didn't last very long, only a couple of hours. But the fact remains that the Chiefs and the Cowboys now hold that record for the most viewers ever in a regular season NFL game. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
It also goes to show you how truly big those fan bases are. Because the Cowboys are massive, and so is the Kingdom. So,
well, what's interesting is these are not necessarily the two best teams in the NFL. In fact, they're very far from it this year. But they have the name, they have the reputation. The Chiefs certainly have the reputation. They're on all the primetime games. They're on Christmas night coming up. The fact is that it helps to have developed that reputation. Cowboys, of course, are the richest franchise in all of sports. I think it is $10 billion, whatever. That all helps, and that does attract the viewers. So a little bit of hype never hurt.
No, it does not. And again, it's even though it wasn't a win, it was still nice to watch some football on Thursday and Thanksgiving all day, which I love. K-State had a pretty meh year, and I'm a Wildcat guy, so it sucked also at the end of the year here that Coach Klein might be hanging it up after the end.
Well, and it's after the bowl game. They'll go to a bowl game. Chris Kleinman's an old friend. He was on the staff at Missouri State back, 25 years ago, Northern Iowa guy, and had some big years at Kansas State. This year wasn't one of them. They're going to be in and around 500, 6 wins, and so forth and so on. But he has hinted, and the hint is rather strong, that after that bowl game he's going to step down. So K-State has gone to their reserve list and taken a look, and they like Colin Klein, who is a former Kansas State quarterback and a really good player. Mm-hmm. He would come in, much younger guy. He played back in 2013, 2014, I think it was, somewhere around in that vicinity. And he has been with some pretty good programs down in Texas. So the fact is that Colin Klein, if in fact Kleinman steps down, which I think he's probably going to, then Colin Klein will take over, and he'll do a good job with them.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's gotten a little stale over the last few seasons. Since he came in, there was a really nice burst in success, and it kind of leveled out over the last couple of years. So hopefully that young blood will be nice for the Wildcats. Speaking of the Cowboys, they're playing Thursday Night Football tonight.
They are on the field at Ford Field in Detroit. The Cowboys go on the road, take on the Detroit Lions, and the Lions are favored by 3. And that's really kind of a fascinating game because Dallas is playing very well, and Detroit is not playing very well. The Lions have kind of leveled off a bit. They aren't anywhere near as strong as they were last year, nor the trendy team that they were last year. They're still pretty good, and playing at home and playing the Cowboys, they'll have a big crowd there in Detroit. Of course, Ford Field is enclosed, so the weather won't be a problem. It should be pretty interesting. We'll see if the 3-point margin by which Detroit is favored really holds true.
Missouri State Bears were out trying to get some young talent. Do you think this new success, the new conference, helped that in any way?
I think it did. It probably did. Coach Ryan Beard called it a great day for Missouri football now, or Missouri State football. And the fact remains that this is a 3-day period. This is the early signing period in college football, and it continues today and tomorrow. And then that is it until the regular signing period comes up, and that's in February. But the Bears ended up with 16 players, and Coach Beard is very pleased with what he had. 9 on defense, 5 on offense, 2 what are called multi-talented players. And you have to think, well, these are guys who are real quick, can play offense, maybe defensive backfield, and so forth and so on. As far as the state is concerned, Missouri, there were 2 players, both from St. Louis. One is a quarterback from Parkway West, and the other is an offensive lineman. Get this. His name is Castillo. He is 6'7", 325 pounds, and he's a high school kid coming in here to play on the offensive line. St. Louis DeSmet is where he is from, and the Nixa kids certainly know him well because Nixa and DeSmet played for the state championship last year. They won't this year. Nixa's playing Lee Summit for the championship this year, but still a good recruiting class, and it really isn't over yet because there could be some more coming in the next 2 days, possibly. I think it's rather remote. But then when the regular recruiting opens up in February again for a month, I think we'll see some more players.
And wish them all the best. I know we were talking about that stud Nixa. He's going to Miami. Yeah.
The U.
The U are going to be spending a lot of time on the beach.
Well, he's interesting because this kid, this is Cantwell you're talking about. And he is not only big and talented and all that, but he's very bright. He had an ACT of 32, 33, somewhere around there in 8th grade.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing that a lot of people, they look at these players and they think, oh, big, dumb. Most of those guys are smart.
Well, they have to be on the offensive line, number one. And number two, he has already finished his requirements at Nixa. Now, they only have a May graduation, so he'll come back and walk the aisle there. But he's going right to Miami as soon as the semester ends and work out with the team, go through the drills. He'll be ready when opening game comes up. And I am guessing, I don't know this, I know that Miami plays Notre Dame next year. I would guess that may be the opening game, but you can expect to see him unless they redshirt him, which is a possibility, but he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, we'll see. Good luck to all of them. Anybody else got any top dogs that we need to talk about?
Yeah, it's pretty much consensus from the media that Southern Cal and Vanderbilt, this is really an anomaly. Vanderbilt did very well in the recruiting, specifically because they got the top player in the country. It's a quarterback from Nashville, but he committed to Georgia. Didn't sign, he committed to Georgia. Yesterday, he flipped on the commitment and said, I'm going to Vanderbilt, which is in Nashville, and he is responding to the pleas from the Vanderbilt fans. Vanderbilt's pretty good. They have Diego Pavia this year, who is a candidate for the Heisman Trophy winner. But in past years, they've been a doormat in the SEC. Yep. They aren't now. They're getting a whole lot better. Alabama did well. Georgia did well. Notre Dame is thought to have done well. 2 teams that are thought to have done poorly. One is Penn State because they don't have a coach. And number 2 is Colorado. Deion Sanders had the smallest recruiting class of any college in the country.
Tells you something, doesn't it? Last but not least, speaking of college, let's switch to the court last night. Who got the dubs?
Arkansas did beat Louisville 89-80 in a dandy game in which Trayvon Brazil out of Springfield Kickapoo had 21 points. Brilliant effort. Minnesota upset Indiana. Indiana is one of the top teams in America. Minnesota beat them 73-64. Alabama knocked off Clemson. And Vanderbilt basketball, which traditionally has been very good, walloped Southern Methodist 88-69. Missouri State Lady Bears play tonight at Tulane down in New Orleans. Should be a pretty good game.
Ned, you have a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you mañana.